Welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. The podcast is slightly complicated today because Alan is going to Oasis later. I'm recording this with him just before the games kick off on Sunday. One of those games, of course, is Newcastle-Arsenal, which Alan will miss.
No, hang on. I'm actually going early so I can watch the game at Wembley Stadium, or somewhere in the vicinity of Wembley Stadium. So right. I will miss it at St James's, but I will be watching it.
Okay, fair enough. Secondly, Micah is also going to Oasis tonight.
Oh, I hope I don't see him.
So he's going, but he's currently journeying down to London to do it. So he's watching the later games as well. And then he's going to jump on the podcast before he goes to the stadium later. So we'll have it all covered. And me, as usual, I'll be watching all the games as I did. Well, I didn't watch. I watched Match of the Day, actually, this morning, which was
good.
A lot of fun. So hang on. I just need to ask one thing here, though, Alan. You are the biggest golf fan in the world. Mm-hmm. It's Sunday, Ryder Cup Sunday. Europe are absolutely flying.
Yeah.
And what kind of planning is that?
I know, but a friend said to me a while back about his 50th birthday and invited me to Oasis. So I couldn't say no. I did realise it was Ryder Cup weekend, and I said, any chance of changing it? But he's not even Oasis would change it for the golf, so it has to be that night. So unfortunately, I'll be following it on my phone if I can get a Wi-Fi signal.
I know this is The Rest is Football and not The Rest is Golf, but and something stupid could happen in the interim period between us doing this and the podcast going out. I suspect it won't. But how good have Europe been?
Oh my God, they've been absolutely sensational. I mean, Luke Donald and his players. I guess the homework that's been put in and everything else that goes with it. And I mean, all of the performances, every single one of them has been just sensational. And you know what I loved? I loved Justin Rose telling DeChambeau to shift out the way and his caddy because they're in his eye line, and then having a bit of niggle walking to the next tee. I thought that was brilliant. I really did.
And the other things as well, when I think they, giving a bit of abuse to the crowd, weren't they, to lots of the players, but Shane Lowry and Rory were getting it, weren't they? Yeah. And then Lowry answers with an eagle, then a birdie, and then they started giving loads of, I think, quite personal abuse at some point to Rory. He was obviously quite upset about it. And there's a clip going out. I don't know whether you've seen it, but and he just he goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." I just thought.
I mean, honestly, why don't these people realise the more you mock, the more you try and take the piss, the more that you try and be horrible and put someone off, that elite athletes will look at you and think, absolutely that, fuck you, and I'm actually going to play a bet because of that. Yeah. That's what it does to these elite sportsmen and women, that if they get stick, it just gets them going that little bit more, doesn't it?
Also, I think what it realises is golf's a different game. Obviously, you're supposed to be quiet while people golf. And I just said people golf. That's like using the verb form, which the Americans do, don't they? Let's golf. But I think that obviously golfers are not used to getting that kind of stuff. It only
But they love it though, don't they? I listen to all the players saying they love the atmosphere in the football matches, and it is similar to what you get in the football matches where you get absolutely hammered, particularly when you go to away grounds and abroad. You get abused, you get hammered, and I think the golfers, or these elite golfers in the Ryder Cup, they thrive on that. They love it.
Yeah, and the thing is I always said about football, when you've got like thousands and thousands of people chanting your name from, Gary Lineker, you're a wanker, and all that.
That was me starting the chant.
Yeah, it's not great when it comes from your own fans, but when it's away fans, it's the biggest compliment You could get, because it's actually because they're scared of you. They fear you. They're so take it as a compliment. But yeah, what a response.
Absolutely brilliant. It's been amazing.
Aggression. Yeah, we're going to batter them. God, I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. Before we talk about the games, saw Roy Keane having a little swipe again at you, Alan.
Someone sent me that the other day.
Sneaky, said he's sneaky, nasty, sneaky elbows and all this. It's amazing, isn't it, what rival pods will do to try and get a bit of PR.
Someone sent me that the other day, and then Micah sent me it, and Righty, and we had a laugh. I mean, really? Come on.
I think you're living in his head.
I mean, sneaky and nasty, and I mean, some of the tackles. Come on, really?
I mean, yeah,
yeah, okay,
yeah. Pot, kettle, black, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right, let's start with I think the story of the weekend. Whatever happens today, Crystal Palace against Liverpool. I mean, wow, what a performance from Palace. That first half, they battered it. If it wasn't for Alisson.
Yeah, there was, that was no fluke, Gary. There was, they absolutely deserved to beat Liverpool. I know Liverpool came into it a little bit more in the second half. Wirtz had a big chance, missed it. Isak had a big chance, missed it. Yeah. But Palace were the better team. They should have scored 4 or 5 in the first half, and they would have if it wasn't for the brilliance of Alisson making all those saves. They played the system to perfection. It must have been one of the best performances under Glasner that they've had. And also, other than one player, Pino, that was the team that beat City in the cup final, and that was the team that beat Liverpool or took the Community Shield off from Liverpool in the week before the season started. So they've lost Eza and replaced him with Pino. But nothing's changed. They've been amazing in that system. That's how you play that system in terms of 3 at the back and 2 wing backs. And they've got some really talented players in there. And I know it's a big if because in terms of European football, but if they can keep the majority of those players fit, then they could have a really, really good season. Palace, again.
Conference League, I think, is certainly within their grasp. They should be in the Europa League, in my opinion, as well. But
it's just a number of games, isn't it? Because once you start dipping into, or once you have the European competition and other competitions, you're going to get injuries, and whether they'll be able to cope with that. But I know it's a big if, but if they can keep the vast majority of those fit, and it was a big thing keeping Mark Gahey because he was the outstanding defender yesterday, and you can understand exactly why Liverpool wanted to sign him as well as other clubs wanted to sign him in the summer, but also know why Glasner and Palace wanted to keep him so badly.
Yeah, especially probably when you look at the performance of Konate yesterday, and he's been a bit in and out this last couple of games. He played all right, but prior to that, not so much. And then he was a bit all over the place yesterday.
He got robbed 2 or 3 times, and they should have scored with a couple of his errors. But a bit of a concern for Liverpool, though, because defensively they've not been great at all, and the chances and the way Palace went through them with ease. Great player, yes, but it was so easy for them at times that would be a big concern, and they're still trying to work out Wirtz because they put left Gakpo out yesterday, put Wirtz on the left, Salah right, Isak down the middle. And it still didn't look right. It's... Do
you think Salah's playing a little bit wider? Like they're trying to stretch the play a little bit. That's what it seemed like to me. I don't know whether he's
playing a little bit wider, but he certainly doesn't look as confident, and he's certainly not the Salah we're used to yet.
Yeah, that will change.
It will change. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. But they're all still trying to figure out how to get the best out of each other.
Yeah, absolute crisis. They're 3 points clear at the top of the table.
But they haven't played particularly well as yet. No. We've been saying that they've been scoring all those late goals, and it came again yesterday. They get the late goal with Chiesa. But it was sort of role reversed, wasn't it? They'd been stung by the late winner that Palace got. But Palace were outstanding, thoroughly deserved their 3 points, and they're the only team left unbeaten in the Premier League this season.
I know,
18 games.
Yeah. 18
Incredible.
games unbeaten. Oliver Glasner's absolutely knows what he's doing.
Brilliant job.
Obviously, he had the success with Frankfurt, didn't he, when they won the Europa Leagues, and he's come in and they clearly really know what they're doing, and they have some exceptional players. I really like Adam Wharton.
Brilliant.
I thought he was exceptional again yesterday. And Mateta's a handful at the top.
Horrible to play against. He really is, but Munoz, that's a good thing.
Munoz, I really like.
Gahey, obviously.
Yeah, Gahey's brilliant defender.
Superb. They're a good team, they are.
And they've lost Eze as well, you know.
Yeah.
So
really good team, Saar was back. He had a good game as well. So they've got some good players in that team.
Most certainly have. Manchester United. I was watching your match of the day. I watched it this morning to make sure I saw all the games before we talked. And just one long ball over the top, and they're in desperate trouble. They're not coming to grips with that system. It seems to me still they don't have the players, they've not really brought in the players that fit in that system. He keeps saying he's not going to change. Brentford knew exactly how to play against them, because I voiced my concerns for United before on this, that if you play a certain way and you're never prepared to change it, and you actually tell everybody you're not going to change it, so everybody knows how you're going to play, well, it's easy to plan to play against them, isn't it? And Brentford had their plan, didn't they?
Brentford, without doubt, had their plan, yeah. I mean, he was outschooled by Keith Andrews, and what Brentford did really well, and it worked. I mean, that will be his downfall. It really will be his downfall, unfortunately, for him, because he's not going to budge. He's right, everyone else is wrong, I guess. I mean, I know they worked really hard last week for their win, but it was back to normality.
But it was in it. You know, they got lucky last week with Sanchez sending off.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into account.
But then Casemiro got sent off, and they had to work really hard as well.
After that. They did defensively.
I guess I said last week that at least he knows that his players are still working hard for him. But I mean, I did say on Match of the Day last night that when you look at the Graham Potter situation at West Ham, which I'm sure we'll mention, 26% win rate, and he's been fired for that. He's got 27% win rate, despite the fortunes that have been spent at Manchester United. And currently, I think the last time I looked, they're 14th or 15th in the Premier League, despite all the money that's been spent. I mean, and I also said that I genuinely believe that the owners or the people that are running the club at the minute have made that many errors in the last 2 years or 18 months since they've been there. It would look terrible
to admit another error.
And sack him. I mean, whether you look at the Dan Ashworth, whether you look at the ticket increase, whether you look at people losing their jobs, whether you look at the new stadium, whether you look at paying for Dan Ashworth and then sacking him and then his contract being paid up, then for them to go and say, actually, we went hell-bent on getting this manager and paying a fee for him and demanding he comes now rather than when he wanted to come, for them now to say, sorry, you're firing him, and then pay out another huge chunk of wedge for someone to lose their contract. I genuinely believe that's probably one of the reasons why he's still there, because they're not any better. They're not getting any better. It doesn't look. They look miles off it. And if he's not going to change, which clearly he said he's not, then that will be his downfall, unfortunately.
Yeah. Having said all that, I think there's no doubt, and I agreed with your version on Match of the Day, that there should have been a red card.
Definitely.
I mean, their excuse as well seemed, I mean, he was not in control of the ball. It's a cross coming in that you're about to side foot in the back of the net. To be in control of the ball, it's got to be a circumstance where you're dribbling through. So therefore, by their logic, if there's a cross coming in and you completely hacked down, then you can't be sent off.
Well, I'm told
it doesn't make any sense.
That was the match centre that put that out, and that's what the VAR relayed to each other, and that's why they put it out. But I'm pretty certain that you'll see another apology from Howard Webb coming out to say that's another one we got wrong.
I think so. Yeah,
there's no doubt. I mean, clearly,
Mbumo's about to side foot it and it's definitely a goal scoring opportunity. And the only thing that with that law, as we know, is that if you're in the box, it has to be that the player committing the foul to send him off is that he's not made any attempt to play the ball.
Correct.
Which he made no attempt to play the ball. He just dragged his arm back.
It's a double jeopardy rule, isn't it?
Yes, the double jeopardy. If he's actually going for the ball and fouls him and he's going through on a goal scoring opportunity, they allow the penalty and it's a yellow card. So
exactly. But there's no way he's going for the ball. He clearly pulls him back, and clearly Mbeumo would have put it in the back of the net and had a clear effort at goal if he hadn't have been pulled. I mean, it was a ridiculous decision. Clearly a massive error by another referee and the VAR again.
Penalty as well, which has depressed Micah and Haz. I think they both brought him in to their fantasy teams.
I could feel that when Micah was going absolutely berserk, sat next to me when we were both watching that together, and I said to him, "Have you got him in your fantasy?" Yeah. So that's why he was going. That's why he was going mad. But that's an error from Bruno on his part. But he did have to wait 4.5 minutes for the substitutions and for them to get to that decision. Yeah. Still no excuse, but it is his error from missing that penalty. But after that, then it was alarming what he was doing, moving so many different players around. I mean, Micah said it on Match of the Day, the subs he brings on, moving centre-back into the right centre-back into centre-back, middle of centre-back into left centre-back. Then Mbeumo was right wing-back, and then Mason Mount came on as a 10 for 4 minutes. Then he brought Xerxes on and then moved Mount to left wing-back. I mean,
I didn't quite catch that, Alan. Could you just repeat that?
It was like, goodness me, what on earth is happening here? It's incredible.
Yeah, I think Micah put it very well when he said, I know footballers are supposed to be able to adapt, and you can adapt, but that many changes which alter everything, different person playing completely different position in the same game is going to lead to confusion.
But exactly the same system.
Yeah. Manchester City, Burnley. I captained Haaland, and I was thinking, just an assist. That's not very good. I think a lot of people triple captain. Have you noticed how we're talking about? Us two are talking about fantasy a little bit now, but
we sucked in off Micah, haven't we? We're being brought into it. Yeah.
So it's good news for me individually. I had him captain, and I think the rest is football team. Had him captain as well.
That's good.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous because I had Esteve on the bench, and if one of my defenders was injured, he would have come in. So, but it did. That's not happened.
You're getting addicted to this.
2 own goals. that can't. All I know is that can't be good.
Clearly not.
Yeah, it's funny now because I still don't really understand the whole game. I like when he scored a goal and another one, I went, he's not in my team, is he, this dude? He's not in that team. He said, well, only if one of your players gets injured. And he went, you've only got Gabriel left now and he's going to play. And I went, I hope he doesn't get a cold overnight. Gets the flu or something.
Goodness me.
But it's mad. But Burnley, they put up a good show for a long while. And that's a little bit unflattering, bit flattering, I should say, to Manchester City, that scoreline.
Yeah, I think they competed for a while and made it a little bit uncomfortable for City, I guess, for an hour or so, an hour and 5 minutes. But with the ability that they've got and the expectation, City, and I think Doku's looking really good this season. He seems definitely to have more of an end product. And Haaland, I think, is benefiting from that. He's pretty sharp again. I think that's 8 league goals in 6 games, is it? Something like that. So
plus loads for Norway.
Yeah, he's flying. I think he's benefiting from that. And without doubt, there's been a massive improvement for me in Doku this season.
I think Pep said after the game that he said his decisions. And
end product,
because we know how dangerous he is and quick he is, but it's just making the right choice of pass, the right cross, the right finish at the right time.
Exactly.
And he's still relatively young, so you can see that. He's a machine, though, Haaland, isn't he? Goal scoring machine.
Just fantastic. He really is. The way, the sharpness in front of goal is amazing. He's a fantastic finisher. He really is. He's brilliant. Yeah. Such a threat.
Before I let you go to the concert, line on, I think, Graham Potter and West Ham. We could see that might be coming, and we know what football's like. And if you're not getting the results, you've got a chance of losing your job. But it seemed a strange time to do it, really, just before, like a couple of days before a game, after he's done the press conferences talking about said game. What did you think?
I thought that was terrible. I really did. I mean, they've obviously been speaking to Nuno or Nuno's people for some days. Mm. And the reason they've just shafted him or Potter and put him out to the press is, I guess, because they weren't able to come to an agreement with Nuno on the Friday. So they thought, we'll just send you out to the press conference. We'll feed you to the wolves. We'll let them ask all these horrible questions about memes and all of these things. And then on Saturday morning, we'll give you a call and sack you. I mean, I guess you go into football management knowing that it's a horrible business at times. And if you're going to be treated like that, then you have to, I guess, understand and get it and just put up with it. But I thought that was a terrible thing to do, was to put him in front of the press on Friday.
Sort of the same.
But the results weren't good enough, and no. I do think it's a tough club to manage. It looks from the outside a difficult club to manage. I
know it's very well recompensed, management and coaching, but it's a weird thing, isn't it? I mean, going into a job knowing that you're almost certain at some point to be sacked, to be fired. It's just. But also, that. As a manager, you would hate it knowing that another manager is talking to a football club whilst you're still in the job. I know.
But you would do the same. Yeah. He's probably done the same somewhere along the line. I don't know, but it's you are right. You get well paid for it, I suppose. Yeah. So you have to put up with the shit that goes on around it. But it can be pretty brutal. And I'm sure generally you'll get a good payoff once you've gone as well. And mostly you'll get another job somewhere. Well, let's hope he does. It's a brutal business, it is. You seemed ecstatic about Sunderland's victory, Alan. you said, give me some I didn't watch you. You were like, you begrudgingly gave them some credit. But what a start. They're fourth. They're brilliant. They were as great again. Therefore, as we speak, I've got a couple of pals in Newcastle who are Sunderland fans, and they've been giving me grief because I haven't yet praised Sunderland on Match of the Day, and so I just thought we were splitting up who was going to do the games towards the end of the programme yesterday, and I said, Micah, I better do Sunderland because I've never said anything about them this season as yet. And they have had a great start. And as we speak, they are in fourth and they got their first away win of the season yesterday and they had to work hard for it. But I thought Granit Xhaka was fantastic in the midfield. Ruffs in goal, again, was brilliant. Yes. I made an error last week, I think, but in general, he has had a good start. So, well done, Sunderland. Yeah, let's hope I don't have to say that too many times this season. Before I bid you farewell and join Micah for the second half of this podcast, it's funny football, isn't it? Maresca is apparently now under pressure, which is the same thing we're talking about management as we were before. But I mean, he won 2 trophies recently and he's got Palmer out. You're thinking, I mean, I know football's, but surely not. I mean, he's just won the Club World Cup. I know. I guess he was probably expected to win the Conference League with Chelsea, but there weren't too many people that tipped Chelsea to win the Club World Cup, no. And he did win it. And he has lost 2 games in a row, and he has lost them because essentially both times he's gone down to 10 men, and we know how difficult that is. But because of it being Chelsea, I mean, you're not going to get too much sympathy. Should you be under pressure? In my opinion, no, because you lose 2 games. But when you sign up to that football club, that anything can happen, and it wouldn't surprise. I think it's mad. Two defeats, and then it is, and your best player's not went off very early injured against Man United, and both games, players have got themselves sent off. So the rules when you sign up to Chelsea, don't you? That could happen to you. I think that's the way Chelsea is, isn't it? Whoever the owner is, it seems. Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah. I mean, two losses and then you're under huge pressure is madness in football, but it doesn't surprise me in Chelsea. Well,
Enjoy Oasis, Alan. I'll send you texts about how the Ryder Cup's getting on.
I'll have my phone on somewhere.
You'll have it on
sure.
You can get
I'll have
it.
to.
Watch
I'll have to.
You'll
I'll
watch
have
it.
to.
Yeah, good stuff. Enjoy, Alan. Enjoy.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. I'll be back with Micah very shortly. Welcome back to The Rest is Football. Alan's on his way to Oasis, so is Micah, but he's in a hotel in London, so he can do it before he goes. Alan, do you know what he said? He went, I hope I don't bump into Micah. And do you know what? I can guarantee you now, after that result with Arsenal's late winner, that he absolutely categorically doesn't want to bump into you, Micah.
Serves him right, doesn't it? Oh, my word. What a game, though, guys.
Whoa, so, I mean, it was good, wasn't it? Right throughout, actually.
Best game there's been this season. Just in terms of the intensity. It was from minute one all the way to the end, you know?
Yeah.
I thought Newcastle were brilliant, but I thought Arsenal were really good too. Two good teams going at it. That's exactly how it should be in the Premier League.
Yeah. Do you know what, Mike? I brought in Gabriel, right, into my fantasy team. This game's getting to me. So I'm sitting down with Harry and his wife Bella is right next to him. She's fast asleep. And I said to Harry, I went, Gabriel's going to score in this game. And then there was a corner. I went, this is it. You watch. Gabriel, goal. Bosh. In it went. We shouted and screamed. Bless her. She nearly jumped out. Honestly. It was terrible. I felt so guilty.
Can you now explain?
I'm cheering in a game that I don't really care what the result is. I know I'm neutral is what I'm saying. But I get what you're saying, but I do know also that there are moments of misery. And now I know why your mood swings so much.
Yes!
But finally. I'm not sure I want this at my age. It's not good for me.
Amazing. The highs are the highest ever. Yeah. The lows are so low. But when you get it right, when you feel like a genius and you brought a defender in and the score or to get a clean sheet, and now there's this defensive contributions now with it, which are extra points. It's just brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's worth pointing out, I think, at this stage, considering we're talking about fantasy football, that on our episode on Wednesday, we will announce who has won the Marcus Rashford signed shirt that we got him to sign when we were in Barcelona. And that will go to the person at the top of our fantasy football league. So at the moment, Dan Hyman, that can't be his name. Dan Hyman, let's say, is Hyman in the table.
I thought he was talking about a different type of high there.
Well, I'm sure he is when he listens to this. So Dan Hyman is currently sitting top of the Rest is Football League. That's after today's game, Sunday's games. We're recording this just after the final whistle at St James's Park. So there's one more game that could affect things, obviously, with West Ham and Everton. So if he can remain there after the points have been gathered, he will win that Rashford shirt. So I'm sure there's a chasing pack, but at the moment, the man who is highest is Hyman. I mean, couldn't be. It's like Dad Joke's dream, that name, isn't it? Yeah, well done, Dan. So aside from that, some good performances in that game. But I want to mention Tino Livramento. Let's hope it's not as serious as it looks. It looks like a bad one, Micah, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to speculate when it comes to injuries. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, stretch it off. It looks like a bad one. Oh, yeah. It was just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Let's hope it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah, let's hope so. Indeed. Who caught your eye?
There were so many good performances today in the game from both sides. I think the interesting battle for me was always going to be that midfield. I made a statement that's gone viral basically all week.
Oh, yeah, again? What have you said now?
No, but I think a lot of people were agreeing with what I was saying in terms of Arsenal at times. Remember when they didn't start Eze last week? And I wouldn't say it was defensive because in the week before the Champions League, Eze played, but defensively he wasn't great, and he was left out, and they brought him on. He gets the assist last week, doesn't he? But the phrase I use is Arsenal can take the handbrake off a little bit, and that's exactly what they did in today's game. I thought Timber was outstanding.
I think he's consistently excellent.
Always excellent, whether that be defending, whether that be going forward, whether that be his weight of pass, whether that be his energy. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah.
Mosquera, who's been really good, I thought he looked a little bit shaky, and that, he gave away the corner that led to the goal.
Were you surprised that he played him ahead of Saliba? Because Saliba was on the bench and had played, obviously, he's played 90 minutes. So that was obviously a conscious decision. That wasn't necessarily because of fitness, was it?
There was something that they said on fitness that he was nursing something, and they didn't want to take a risk. And Mosquera has been playing really well. Eze, I thought, looked sharp as well in spells.
Yeah, he's unlucky not to score. Good save.
I know we keep talking about Declan Rice, but what I love about Declan Rice is he manages the game ever so well. So in commentary, Gary and Neville was saying we want to see more from him, but it was the timing of when he needed to go forward, when he needed to sit in. The right moments, his delivery.
What about that moment when he came back and they were going through man on man for goal and somehow he got back? I mean, Christ, he's got legs, that fella. And intelligence.
Game intelligence is just through the roof. And not only Arsenal players, I thought Dan Burn did very well against Saka because he's up against Saka. Newcastle have gone to a 4 at the back. We were speculating before the game, was it going to be 4? Was it going to be a 5? What would the reason they would go into a 4, but I thought at times, of course, against Saka, he's going to do you one-on-one, but is his recovery pace at times, because he's not the quickest, and his position he was getting into at times when Saka would go by him, and a lot of people don't, because when you're a defender, guys, and obviously you played against defenders, when someone's got the beating of you in a one-on-one situation, it's how you react to that situation, and I think Dan Burn did that ever so well in the game. Someone who's so tall going up against someone who's so small who can change direction so quickly. I just thought we talk about positioning as defenders. I thought Dan Burn dealt with that really well at times in the game. I thought Chow was excellent, made some really good tackles. But Gordon and Valdemada for Newcastle, I thought they changed the game.
Brilliant header for the goal.
It was excellent.
Yeah, he had his hand on the back. When they were looking at it, I thought, please don't disallow it for that, because it certainly wasn't an absolute push. But what did you make of the overturned penalty decision? Pope did get a foot on it. I think there's no question about that. Was it? This is the problem with VAR. I sense it was probably not a penalty. I think he did get a foot on the ball, and then Gyökeres sort of sensed he was going to touch him after that and threw himself in the air a little bit. But if it had been given and there hadn't have been VAR, I don't think anyone would really have complained.
Correct.
And you go the thing again, and this is where VAR cannot win in its current format, and I get bored of hearing myself say it, but it's unworkable, VAR.
Agreed.
Because referees, VAR, you don't know where the line is. One week it's a high bar, then it's a low bar, then it's a slightly lower bar, and then it's a higher bar. And because was that a howler of a decision? No. Was it the right decision in the end? Probably. Mm-hmm. But it comes the point where you go, well, all we want is the right decision. But they've always said this is not about re-refereeing the game, but that is re-refereeing the game. And that's why they will get there in the end. But the only way out of this mire for VAR, because I think we're all sick of it now. It's boring. You have to wait so long. The only way out is an appeal system. That's it. You get you have to stipulate why you're appealing. Number 8 push number 5 in a penalty. So every corner is not looked at. Is only an appeal. Maybe 1.5. If it's held up, you are right. You keep your life, like in other sports. I don't see any other way around it. Otherwise, it's awful. It's destroying the game. You've been saying it. I've said it forever, and it will come, Micah, because it's inevitable. It has to come. Otherwise, our sport is just not the same.
I think we have to look closely at the decision with Pope and Gyökeres, because I think it's a foul. I actually think it's a foul.
Even though he touched the ball, because he followed through. Anywhere outside the penalty area, it would still be a foul. You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that as well. So we'll always argue about it.
I would be a hypocrite, because I remember last season with Saliba headbutted someone in the box. But if you look at the angle, Saliba got a little touch on the ball.
I remember it.
First. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were doing that game.
So it was against João Pedro. Do you remember it, guys? You remember it?
Yeah, I do remember it now. Yeah.
So I don't know if you just get a touch, is that deemed enough then for it not to be a foul? Because by law, really, if that's outside the box, that is a foul, and that's where it is very confusing, because even if he touched the ball and he takes someone out, so if a keeper comes out and he gets the ball and he absolutely clatters someone, or someone breaks a leg, or someone gets a head injury, so within the rules, it's very hard to specify what's a foul and what isn't a foul, and that's why today I have sympathy for the referees. However, I agree with you on this particular moment. It should have just been the ref's call.
Yes, that's it. I think so. Referee's call. Correct. I think overall that's what it should have been today. And actually, Alan thought the same. Alan, he was on our group chat, and he went, I just say, just to prove I'm not biased, he thinks they shouldn't have interfered with that one. It was not a howler. And I think he's got a point. But I also go back to where do you draw the line on how much of an error it has to be? You can't. So if you have an appeal system, you just go, and still there'll be conscientious decisions, always, because ultimately it comes down to a human being deciding whether it's a foul or not. But if it's a little bit easier, if it's a foul or it's not a foul, not is it enough of a foul?
Yeah.
So, and there's no referee's call. It's just a thing. So, but it's always been difficult. But under the current guidelines, it's just a mess. It's just difficult, really difficult. And I feel for them, because it's thankless. They've got no chance. They're never going to get it right consistently. They can't.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's mind blowing to me how. It's just a foul. It's just a foul, isn't it? It's just like if you look at it in real time, real speed, it looks like a foul. And now we're making it even a bigger story because we're going into it, and you hit the nail on the head. You should go into an appeal system. As simple as that.
But Arsenal won the game anyway. A return to form for Villa, Micah. You're another one of your former clubs, shall I say, rather than clubs perhaps you support. But yeah, I mean, they went behind again. You thought, and Ollie Watkins got his goal, and I suspect now it'd be worth considering putting into fantasy teams again, because he's had a bit of a bad run. But most strikers are streaky, and once they get one after a bad spell, they do start scoring his goals. Harry's shaking his head. He said, "No, he's not going. It's too expensive."
It was a cracker of the game. This
was really good. I enjoyed it.
To the 4:30 game, Newcastle Arsenal, but Jimenez scores early doors, and the crowd sort of think, "Oh, here we go again."
Here we go again. Yeah.
Then Watkins, who was outstanding, he was running the channels. He was getting involved. The timing of his runs were absolutely perfect. McGinn was back to his best, but the game was really open. It was like a basketball game at times. So much space in the middle of the park. Morgan Rogers was very good apart from that last pass. So he's getting on the ball in half turn, driving forward, playing balls. He looked back to somewhere near his best. Buendia come on, score a goal. But the player in the first half was Josh King is his name?
Josh King.
Josh King. Oh my, what a talent he is.
I went to the Fulham game when they played Manchester United a few weeks ago, and I thought, this kid can play.
It's his decision making though, Gaz. And he got booked for simulation last week, but he actually should have had a penalty today. He went through, he took it round Martinez, and it looked like he was going down ever so slowly. He sort of, his body position was facing down, but Martinez definitely takes him out, and it's a definite penalty. And he got booked again. But his decision making for someone who's 18 years old is going to be.
And also, you would say, is a good sign of his mental strength, because last week, if you remember, he made a mistake, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But manager keeps playing him. Fulham are actually really good to watch, but just a little bit too open. Anderson at the back had his hands full with Watkins. Watkins was just on it. It's his first goal this season, isn't it? McGinn's first goal since April as well. So Villa look. It
was only a matter of time before Villa find their feet, and they've had a bad run, but he's too good a coach, and they've got too many good players, I think, not to. Okay, Micah, get yourself to the concert. And don't look behind you. Don't look back in anger if Shearer's behind you, okay? Enjoy, and we'll let you know whether Dan Highman has finished as the man most high in our competition. But for now, goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me. Have a good week.